What's happening, everybody? This is the Unfiltered Truth. It's your host, Phil Robinson III. With me is my man, Phil Jones. Special guest, Kenny the King. Kenny, what's
What it
good,
do?
my friend?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Happy hump day, you guys.
Happy hump day, man. Oh, man.
Doesn't feel like one.
It's a big hump.
I think
It's
the
a
hump
big hump.
went
That's all
over us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's been going down, a lot to break down, a lot to digest. We went into the bye in great standings, came out of the bye in better standings, but a huge blow yesterday. And before we even get into that, I want to just take a moment of silence real quick for Tina Tinter. And for those who don't know, that's the victim of the crash with Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this business with Ruggs is really, really sad, and this young man has made a very, very egregious mistake, and it's going to cost him. It's cost a couple people dearly, and it's cost one person the ultimate price. And he's a good kid, and this is a horrible, horrible decision and an even worse action. But he's still a good kid who's thrown life away as he knows it.
Yeah. This is something that you can't come back from. I mean, he's gonna live with this for the rest of his life.
No, without a doubt. I mean, I haven't seen all of the video because, quite frankly, I've seen enough. I've seen enough to know that what he did. We've all heard the reports. He's doing 156 down a residential street. Ran into the back of this woman at 127 miles an hour. And for the longest, when I was looking at this, I couldn't figure out how did the car catch on fire, because I used to work for AAA and I used to do roadside assistance and clean up wrecks and whatnot. So I have a fairly decent understanding of what it takes to do something like that. Mm-hmm. The incineration velocity is usually at about 120 miles an hour. What I mean by incineration velocity is that at that speed, whatever it hits is catching on fire.
Right.
And so we had talked previously about a potential of some recall items that were wrong with the car, but the reality is that Ruggs and his girl were in the car driving way too damn fast.
Yeah.
And hit this woman. Now Corey says don't forget about the gun too, and we'll get to that that gun didn't kill anybody.
I got the details on the gun. But yeah, go on, Phil.
Yeah. And there's a lot to break down. There's a lot of questions to ask. There was some mention about Top Golf, which was the last place that he was at, where he had 18 shots and a few mixed drinks. Sounds like a great. And that place closed at midnight. The accident wasn't reported until about 3:45.
Yeah,
there's a big chunk of time there that is unaccounted for that we don't know what happened. Mm-hmm. And somebody, and while Ruggs had an open container of alcohol in the car, which would pretty much alleviate any of his previous stops from any type of financial liability for the most part, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm trying to think about what to say and keep my mind straight, but I just keep thinking about all of this. It's crazy. What you got there, Phil?
So I got the record from the court docking. So they put, usually I usually don't see it. They usually go on and put it under DUI, but they also put it under control or prohibited substance result in substantial bodily harm. So they're also saying that in this way, they're also not ruling out that drugs were also in play. And I should be getting more information on this later on tonight, and I'll actually be able to talk to one of the lawyers over out that way. But Henry Ruggs, he made I'm at a loss of words. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The mistake he made was he fucked up.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to sit here and act holier than thou and say that I've never, never made the mistake. I've got a DUI. I had one when I was 21 years old. So 17 years ago, I got one. I learned my fucking lesson. That's the first thing. I got lucky. You know what I'm saying? But this also is something that does hit close to home. My uncle was killed almost 30 years ago by a drunk driver. And, that was one of the things that when I got my DUI, my dad looked at me and said, "What the fuck are you thinking? This is how your uncle died." And that was the thing that stuck out to me. And so I can't, but I can look back at it and say, this is one thing that I always go back to is when you're a professional athlete or you're a person at all, but when you're a professional athlete and you have every opportunity at your disposal to get a free ride, you've got the financial means to get an Uber, you could get a limo, and it would still be less than anything that you are dealing with right now. And there's no reason why you should be getting behind the wheel after 18 shots, mixed drinks, and potentially a controlled substance. There is no reason whatsoever.
None. I'm surprised he was able to make it to the car. As much as he was drinking, somebody had to carried him to his car.
At twice the legal limit, right? He's not a big dude.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Me at twice the legal limit, I'm gonna be able to carry my alcohol a little bit better. I'm a big dude, but he's not a big guy. He's what, 200 pounds?
Yeah, maybe 185 pounds soaking wet.
195 at least. Yeah.
So I mean, there, and then on top of that, he's with his girlfriend. So what's the conversation like getting into the car? No, I'm cool to drive. Hey, Henry, you have a child, you have a career, you have your whole life. Do you really want to get behind the wheel right now?
You got my life.
Right. What's that? What if he died in that wreck? What if she died in that wreck?
Exactly.
What if, you know what I'm saying? Like, this little girl is now going to have to grow up without a father, potentially. This family has no daughter now.
No
and
sister.
I mean, it's mind boggling.
Nah, and what you said earlier, like, we're not perfect human beings. We didn't all had some messed up run-ins. I mean,
I was lucky enough to avoid a DUI and have nearly killed myself a few times.
Yeah.
I got a Charger, and the fastest I went in my Charger was about 120. And if I lost control of it, I could have ran into somebody's house.
Yeah.
Very easily. Nothing to stop you.
So,
we could continue about this for the entire show, but the reality is that at this time, Henry Ruggs is no longer a part of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he has got plenty on his plate to deal with moving forward. And so do the Raiders, who now suddenly find themselves with a colossal hole in this roster and a trade line that just passed with no action.
Well,
I'm gonna say it's a colossal hole.
I will say this, because I got dragged yesterday, and
I saw, man. I'm like,
but here's the thing, people. I think that one of two things. I think one, people just don't know how to read, because I think people are thinking I'm saying trade Henry Ruggs, not saying trade Henry Ruggs. I'm saying the Raiders need to make a move. The Raiders have lost their starting wide receiver, and it's not outside their own possibility. The Raiders need to make a move. Now, they obviously the trade deadline passed, but let's look at some of these things that are kind of going on around the league, right? You have Odell Beckham, who's pulling an AB over in Cleveland right now. He's trying to do everything he possibly can to get out of there. And you have you got Deshaun Jackson, who just got released. So I think that the Raiders may possibly know something that, why they didn't make a move. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't unless they're that confident in Zay Jones, but I don't know.
I mean, I wrote an article a couple of days ago on grading the offense, and Zay Jones to me is an enigma because you look at his stats. He's been 6 catches, 7 targets, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 19.2 yards per catch, but he can't ever get on the field. When I look at him on the field, when I watch the film with him on the field, everybody tells me that he's not getting open, but that's not what the tape is telling me. That's not what the tape is telling me at all.
No.
But I watched you remember the Baltimore game, and the play that he scored is actually the same play that Ruggs was open on that Derek missed him on the second play of the game.
Yeah.
The very same play. And it went with a similar result, which would have happened if he had thrown it to Ruggs when he was open. So I'm not in no way gonna sit here and compare Zay Jones to Ruggs and say they're equals. But Zay Jones can be an effective weapon in this offense if they use him correctly. He doesn't necessarily have to be the deep threat. They can run him on some more intermediate routes because he's a short to intermediate yard specialist. That's what he did at East Carolina.
Right.
And so it can be done. They can work around it, but you drafted Ruggs to be your guy. And whether he had matured to be that guy, he has definitely shown signs that he was on his way, and it may not be a monumental hole, but it set the whole offensive development back. Your great equalizer against the Chiefs is now gone because it was Ruggs who helped get them over the top.
Yeah, it makes a difference. I mean, especially when you look at guys like Darren Waller, who Ruggs created opportunities for Waller to make plays. He created opportunities for Brian Edwards to go and make plays. He created opportunities for Hunter Renfrow to make plays. And so those are the things that you have to look at. Now, can Zay be that guy? I think here's the thing. I think Zay can. Zay has built a chemistry with Carr, and they've been training hard in the offseason. I think, I think Derek said that Zay was one of the guys that was there every single day. He was the one that was hitting Derek up to train. So that is something that you look at. That's something that you want to look at and say, is Zay the guy that can step in? But it's not going to be an immediate fix. It's not going to be something where, immediately Zay is going to make that change. It's not going to be something where, it's going to be a couple weeks because they're going to have to see Zay on tape for a couple games. And so I think that's the biggest thing right now.
No, you're right. Yeah, they're going to have to see him a couple times. Then you also got Dylan Stoner. I mean, we saw how well he was doing training camp and preseason. And if you look at how he was performing back at Oklahoma State, I mean, I'd be fine with him coming out there to play. Yeah. But, we're all like, we don't have that Ruggs speed. I mean, unless you decide to activate DJ Turner and bring him out there, or, they wait and see how this matter plays out with Deshaun Jackson clearing the rest of the waivers, going through the waiver list, see how many teams pass. And then, with the teams that finally passed that have the losing records, will he be there? Will he be available? They can go on and pick him up. Or you see how this matter with Odell Beckham Jr. plays out. Are they going to release him? And then you see how long that matter plays out.
Derek's live right now.
Yes, and they look and he's got a rather shell-shocked look to him. I think old boy said he looked like he'd been crying. I believe so too. He said that he had, and it's just this is a real difficult thing. And a lot of those guys, Cassie Soto had put out a video of them at the beginning of practice going through drills, and it looked like a bunch of guys going through the motion. And I get it because it's fresh. But the one thing more than anything that we really have to stop and take into consideration is that no matter how tragic this is week 9.
Yeah.
if the Raiders don't get their feelings under control, if they don't find a way to compartmentalize this, if they don't find a way to adapt and overcome, they're going to get dragged for the next 10 weeks.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And remember, we've already had the bye, so you're looking at almost 3 straight months of getting dragged.
This is a time where it's funny because I've said this now probably about 3 times this season already. But this is the time where the Raiders show what they are.
Yeah.
We said it. I said it after the Chargers lost. I said it after John Gruden was out. And I'm saying it again because it's the same thing. The Raiders really have to show their identity. And the Raiders are going to have to show their resilience and show what they can do. Now, this is a Giants team that the Raiders can beat. This is a Giants team the Raiders should beat.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have the distraction of this Henry Ruggs thing. Are they going to let this carry over into Sunday? Can this team be professional and move forward?
And they should. They've displayed that type of mental toughness. The leadership, the coordinators and leadership of this team has been solid. And so far to this point in the season, they've answered every trial, they've answered every bell, and they've done everything. When adversity has struck, they've responded favorably. In terms of this particular game, I think that they caught a break. This Giants team is not very good at all. All their weapons are out. That we were looking at, say Mark, I was looking like he may not. He's on the COVID list. He's still got an ankle deal. They still don't have hardly any wide receivers out there, and they almost beat Kansas City with a piss poor offensive production.
Devontae Booker putting the team on his back, man.
And I use that term loosely. It was 60 minutes of watching really bad football.
It was really bad football. I mean, it was a bad game. It was not
that to the point where I think my cousin is a Giants fan, and he was running his mouth. It was like, son, we don't need Henry Ruggs to beat y'all. I'm like, who? You ain't even got an offense, bro. Who's gonna play?
Yeah.
But at some point we will need to address this game because that is what's up next for the Raiders, and I don't foresee any reason why they shouldn't win this game. But now this right here, this could be one of those things that they just can't overcome. This is big. I'm not gonna lie. Said everything on paper would point that they should come out here and boat race the Giants, but looking at what I see in these guys' faces, looking at what I saw from the limited practice film, and I'm not going to try to sit up here and say that I was on the sidelines for the entire practice and watch everybody's face. I mean, but they look like a very dejected bunch of men. That
but were you there?
Were
you there
for a hot second? In spirit,
Come on.
But
were you there
in spirit?
Hi.
What's up, little dude? What's up, little G?
Say go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
My man.
Okay, go back to your sister.
But he said go away.
No, it's okay. Go back to your sister. I'm live.
I don't either. News.
I don't either.
He wants to drop the sauces, man.
He's trying to get up. Hey, off topic real quick. I just saw that Buster Posey is going to be announcing his retirement tomorrow.
No, that's what you were looking at. I was wondering.
Yeah, that's what my eyes were
seeing. I was like, wow. Well, I mean, it is about that time for him. There's nothing left for him to prove.
I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to move to first base or
said he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but hey,
hats off to that man. That man is a San Francisco legend. He drinks for free in the Bay.
Yep, first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer. That boy is a beast.
Rookie of the year, MVP, three-time world champion. Dodgers ain't got nobody like that on the team, though.
Hey, I ain't a Dodgers fan.
No homegrown talent. Bunch of all-star snatching bums. But
Magic Johnson looking at you like,
Dodgers.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
It's always beat LA around this motherfucker.
I mean, looking at the Giants game, I mean, yeah, we saw, you were in spirit, looking at the guys on the sideline. Yeah, I mean, you got to look. This just happened, 24 hours?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to process within that time frame. If you listen to what Rich Biscacci was saying, like these guys are trying to like talk and vent this out. They're probably already talking to a team counselor about this right now, trying to get what they can get off their mind and try to process what's going on. You have tomorrow, you have Friday, and then you have the trip going to New York. So I mean, they'll probably leave out Friday afternoon, but you still have time to get an understanding. Like, look, we've already faced adversity once. The real test is, can you face it again?
I think here's my thing. I think that how they respond on Sunday, I think that's going to say a lot about this team, regardless of the Giants and their record or whatnot.
Yeah.
How this team responds on Sunday. If this team comes out and they come out firing on all cylinders, it's going to speak to the character of the team. It's going to speak to the character of the captains on that squad. And it's going to speak to Rich Bisaccia and what he can do as a coach. Because if he can motivate these guys, if he can get these guys fired up, if he can get these guys to travel cross country after all this happened on Monday night, and they can go out and win a game on the road, early game, after facing all of this adversity, that is going to speak volumes about Bisaccia's leadership.
Yeah,
that's going to speak volumes about this team and their resilience. And I think that this game right here could really be the game that could potentially be the game that makes Rich Bisaccia the head coach.
The head coach, yeah.
Launching point. It's definitely one that he check.
There's something he wants to win. I mean, your dad was head coach of the Giants long time ago. We're still trying to look for it. But no, and this game has a lot of meaning to it now. Because one, it could, like you said, launching point to him being the new head coach. Also, everybody's looking at the Raiders going to a cold weather game. Once again, you're going into
New York,
New Jersey, MetLife. You're going into MetLife now. And everybody's like, well, last time, you struggled against the Jets, who were winless. And then, the year before, you struggled in the rain against the Jets, and they were about the same record as what the Giants are right now. So folks are like, hey, are we going to see you repeat the same thing over and over again like you did the past 2 years? Or are you just going to make sure like, hey, enough is enough? We dealt with hell with the whole saga of the emails with Gruden. We dealt with now losing one of our brothers because he made a tragic mistake. So now we have to come together as one, be united as one to try to pull off a win because we still have a job to do. That's what you got to separate. You have to separate all of this in this pile and put it over there because once everything's over, then you can sort through it. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not ready to play, just say that you're not ready to play.
Right.
Yeah. And at this point, with everything that's gone on with this football team, you really, really have to appreciate players speaking up and saying they need a mental health day because this is a lot.
I mean, look at Calvin Ridley now.
I
respect what he had to do. I respect what Lane Johnson had to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We saw when Naomi Osaka took time away from tennis.
Yeah.
We saw some people on Twitter dragging her for that.
Yeah.
And and we're seeing more and more people talking about their mental health. I think that, as Black men, we can speak about this because this is something that's always been kind of taboo in in our culture, right? In our community. Talking about mental health is not something that black people, people of color really ever really talked about. And it's becoming more acceptable. It's becoming more socially acceptable.
Yep.
I think when Brandon Marshall came out with his issues, Kanye West coming out with his issues, those brought it to the forefront. But it seems like people are treating, I look at like the Lane Johnson and the Calvin Ridleys, and then I look at Naomi Osaka, and people are treating the two things differently. And I feel like it needs to be treated equally, because you have Naomi Osaka, who people were calling her weak. They're calling her, going after her. Simone Biles. Yeah. So
Kenny, you're right. And the thing of it is, as you said, in history, we always used to be like, oh, no. I don't need to go see no therapist. I don't need to go on and talk about my feelings. I got to keep that, because people try to take advantage of that, or, they're trying to put me in some loony bin and all that. That ain't the case anymore. And you
not
got to let it out.
Not only that, but I think primarily as black men and as African Americans in this country, nobody ever talked about mental health issues because, quite frankly, nobody cared.
Right.
Nobody cared about that. Was all our individual problems, our burdens to bear until we broke, snapped, and did something crazy, or it contributed to health issues that we're known for. All stress-related health issues, high blood pressure, all of it. I'm drawing a blank right now, having a good old brain fart, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can know that, man. But
let me tell you this. I personally, I have dealt with a lot this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the past 19 months, I mean, losing my brother-in-law, losing my mother, losing my fiance's sister's baby dad a couple of weeks ago. We've dealt with a lot as a family. And, even with addressing mental health, stress still takes over. And if you hold that in, it's going to be a bad thing. And me personally, like my even though I'm a big dude, my blood pressure was always good. My cholesterol, all that stuff is good. But a month ago, I had a stress-induced heart attack. And it was because of the stress of, work, my mom, everything involved with that. And it just kind of tells everybody, like, it doesn't matter who you are. No. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of your mental health. You gotta step away. It's like I told you guys, I took a week off of work because I was like, you know what, I'm not mentally ready to go back. And it's being honest with yourself, and it's also being honest with the people around you, because if you're not, then nobody's gonna know that you need help. And I think that that's the biggest thing is asking for help, talking to people, going out there and reaching out and communicating. I think that's very important for people to do.
Kenny, you're right, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kenny, I'm gonna be real. While you were just talking right there, I need to take off this week. It's so much shit I've held in for the past couple months myself, and I thought I was right, but I'm not. I'm just.
You got to take care of yourself, man.
Yeah,
you have to. I mean, we could all share them stories. I've been going through quite a bit for quite a while. I'd tell you my story off the air because you might need a minute.
Yeah.
But mental health is being addressed, and it's being addressed without a stigma, and that's probably the most important thing. That is the most important breakthrough that's happened in the last 20 years. And that's with the advent of technology and all that other stuff, is because people are going through a lot of screwy situations and enduring a lot of fucked up stuff. And there's really no other way to put it. My grandma be watching the show and be telling me not to curse, but sometimes you just got to say it, Grandma. I'm sorry.
That switch, man. You already know what you got to do.
I'm sorry, Grandma. People are going through a lot, and people continue to deal with it. And as people are struggling to maintain, they're ignoring themselves. I'm guilty of it. This whole thing is my second career. I'll throw it out there. This isn't what I do for a living. I'm trying to make a transition because this is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. This is what I feel like is me. Right. I don't dread doing this. I don't get up in the morning and be like, I gotta go to work.
Bro,
I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to get on I don't want to fire up this YouTube. I don't want to get on here with Phil. I don't want to chop it up with Kenny. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? All these people in my comment section. I can't even stand this dude named Egalitarian, but you know what? He keeps showing up and I like him anyway. But I was just fucking with you. But it's one of those things that you have to do what makes you happy, and it's a very delicate balance. I mean, we all got bills to pay, we all got to provide for our kids, our families, and all of that. But when you're slowly losing yourself day after day, going to do something that you just absolutely can't stand, you only got one ticket, the one ride. Right? You got to enjoy the ride or do something to fix it, because there's only one person who can fix that.
Yep. That's real right there. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Like I tell my wife this all the time. I'm like, I love this right here. Like hopping on the pod, talking football, going on Twitter, talking football, bullshitting, doing that stuff, social media stuff like that. I'm good at my job, but I don't love it. Like you know what I'm saying? Right. I do it well. Like I'm proficient, but I don't love it. I love this. And if I got paid the way that I got paid in my job, I would really just do this. And that's my goal too, is making that transition, because ultimately you want to do what makes you happy. You want to do something where you wake up and you're excited to go to work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to be excited to wake up in the morning, not, oh, fuck, I gotta do this shit. Like you want to get excited to do like Phil hit me up and he's like, hey, you want to come on? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this shit. Like I'm excited. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll never say, oh man, I gotta do a fucking podcast. Like shit.
Right?
Right? Oh like, shit, I gotta send this tweet.
Man, you know what? I gotta go. I hold on, I gotta go on here. I gotta take this hour out of my day and be famous. Have hundreds of people looking at me, have hundreds of people hinging on every word that comes out of my mouth. I don't want to do it, bro. I don't want to be. I don't want to get up early in the morning to see my man Docs over here on coffee and conversation and be like, you know what? I'm watching a baby right now, but let me jump in with Docs though.
Shout out Docs.
But and we done took off on a totally different tangent.
I mean, it needed to be heard. It really needed to be heard.
It definitely did, because it's one of the most important things. But with that being said, I'm gonna shake it up all real quick on y'all real quick. I think Mike Mayock needs to be fired.
Whoa.
Ooh. 3 years in a row, the trade deadline has come and gone. His team has been on the verge of contention, and he sat pat and did nothing. 2 years in a row, they collapsed down the stretch when he could have gave them a shot in the arm. They are sitting at 5-2. Let's say that there's a lull. Let's say that they just can't get past this week and they lose. Let's say they go out against the Chiefs and, you know, they're still trying to come back and bring it together. So they drop that game. They're sitting at 5-4. At worst case scenario, they're a game behind the Chargers. Worst case scenario. They still got to figure out a way to be competitive with all of their shortcomings, with all of the holes in the roster, with everything that they got going on that would prohibit them from making roster moves. And you look at the 2020 draft class. Said Ruggs is no longer with the team. Damon Arnett is hurt, and quite frankly, nobody wants him back with the team. Brian Edwards is starting, and that's a quality pick. Jonathan Simpson is starting, but he was supposed to be the backup. Lynn Bowden didn't even make the team. Said Tanner Muse ain't
Lynn
with
Bowden.
the team.
Before you go, so here, this is just something. Lynn Bowden was traded because one of the reasons why he was traded is because they said he was a bad influence.
Bad influence,
right?
Bad influence.
How?
But I mean, Lim Bowden hasn't done shit. Like he had 16 yards against us when we played. But I get your point. But my question is it Mike Mayock or was it John Gruden? Because Mike Mayock even said he basically alluded to the fact that he didn't really have control of the team. And
I mean, would you like him? What was he gonna say? That all of these were my idea, and that John is getting a bad rap here, and that I should be the guy who should be gone instead of him?
No, I don't think so. But I think at the same time, I kind of want to see what Mayock does without Gruden, because we look at the late round picks, which you can obviously tell that those are Mike Mayock's picks, and you got Nate Hobbs, you got Foster Moreau, you got who else did they bring in? Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, Max Crosby. So there have been some quality picks. Now I get where you're coming from. I get where you're saying. But I want to see
you that it was actually the opposite, that those weren't the guys that he picked, and those were the guys that John picked.
I'd like to see.
Oh God.
Fair enough.
I mean, look,
Robinson's holding us hostage. Help.
I know, right? Like, hey, blink twice if you're okay. But no, I mean, look, I think that you have valid points. I think you do have valid points. But my thing is, I like to look at everything. And did they try to make a move? Maybe. Did they not make a move? Of course, they didn't make a move. They did make a move, though. They got rid of Peterman
and brought him back to the practice squad.
I mean, I'd rather have him on the practice squad than the regular squad.
Well, but I mean,
you have to
rescue, bro.
You have to wonder what the plan is, and I think that's the frustrating thing for us as fans is not knowing what the plan is. Right. I think that when we sit there and we see that nothing has happened, you get frustrated because you're like, okay, well, what the fuck's happening? But at the same time, it's what is going to happen? Like, what is the plan? Are they going to move forward with this? Are they going to do that? How is this going to play out? So I get where you're coming from. I personally want to see Mayock do a draft on his own and see what it looks like, because I think that he's done a pretty good job with where he's at.
I don't know. We're all free to our opinion. It's not one that I share, but I respect it. I look at the lack of moves. We see the signings in the off season, and then during mid season, there's just nothing. You don't even see Mayock hardly. If it wasn't for the crisis with Gruden and this thing, and I don't have we even seen Mayock since this thing came out with Ruggs? No. You see Mayock maybe 3 times a year, and that's it.
Yeah, but you don't generally see GMs during the season, unless it's Jerry Jones.
All depends what organization.
Yeah.
You could see him slightly more frequently than you see Mayock. I could get behind the fact that they're not front and center. Everybody, hey, look at me all the time. I get what you're saying. And the point guy was always supposed to be Gruden, but you even heard Gruden complain about not being able to get guys in during the season.
Well, Gruden also traded Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack, and so I take what Gruden says with a grain of salt, because Gruden has been known to be a used car salesman.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't know.
Look it out. It's the new wave in hate. Now I no longer hate Derek. I hate Mayock. A Mayock hater.
Hey, look, hold up. They're going to bring the tiki torches out on you, bro.
Tell him I'm the meanest. I'm the baddest. I'm the prettiest. Hey, showing up, bitch. But no, it is. It's one of those. Should Mayock get a year without Gruden? That would be what everybody would say. That would be your whole continuity aspect and angle. I look at what happened with that first round draft pick in the 2021 draft. and a lot of people will focus in on the room. I looked at the two guys to the right. There was a whole room of guys celebrating, and the two guys to the right were not. The two guys to the right were Mark Davis and John Gruden, and to me, that spelled a problem.
Well, I mean, I wanted Trayvon Mayock in the first round. You know, I think we all were. I think we all were on.
I mean, we were all licking our chops for it. Like, you know, we were looking like Belichick's son. How he looks at everybody on the field, just licking their tongue. Like,
yeah, we got. I mean, look, we got lucky because he fell into the second round, but I wanted him in the first. And I mean, Leatherwood wasn't even on my radar.
No, who?
Exactly. You know, he wasn't even on my radar. And I mean, obviously the Raiders needed to address right tackle. Still need to address right tackle.
Yeah, let's draft another left tackle for that position. That might work.
Hey, hold on. I have someone that calls Brandon Parker. He's the Brandon Parker is the god.
Hey, Brandon. I mean, look, Alex Leatherwood makes Brandon Parker look good at right tackle.
I mean, he makes him look. He makes Alex Leatherwood makes Brandon Parker look like Lincoln Kennedy,
like Donald Penn.
Listen, when Alex Leatherwood was so bad that you looked to Brandon Parker as a breath of fresh air, and that should tell you all that you needed to know about that particular situation.
I ain't gonna lie.
I said Brandon Parker was playing better, and he was. He is playing. He definitely played better last year, and he hasn't been a complete travesty thus far. But Alex Leatherwood at right tackle was a disaster. That was horrible.
But we got Von Miller out of the division, so
hallelujah.
At this point, I'd almost rather that he stayed.
I'll give you this. Brandon Parker kept him from sacking Derek Carr.
He did.
He did. That's why I said at this point, I'd rather he stayed. I'm like, now they might actually put somebody back there who might make a difference.
Who?
Well, I got nobody right now.
I said who might. I didn't say he would. I said who might.
Tanking.
I know that Vaughn wasn't, so that's what I do know.
They going for a quarterback again.
I don't know who they plan on. They can't get Caleb Williams, so I don't know who they planning on drafting.
Caleb Williams looking at the board like, no, I'm gonna stay and get my education longer.
He's a true freshman. He is untouchable for another 2 years.
DC bound, baby.
Carr, him and
did we lose him?
Oh, we free.
You are the voice of reason on this show. The one true wants to burn down the entire organization and start from scratch. Actually, I don't believe that's what I said at all.
I'm looking at Kenny like just frozen in time.
He said, "I've had enough of these fools. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let me just hit the pause button and dip on out of here."
He's frozen in time.
Let's see. Is he still? Let's see. Does it come
back?
He's
still frozen in time.
It's a Kenny-sicle. Oh, it's not even a Kenny-sicle now. Now we just got dead air, and that's real talk.
Kenny is frozen in time, ladies and gentlemen.
Come back, Kenny, come back. Well, we'll have to carry on until I see him come back. He's
gonna see him bounce back in.
Yeah. The skill position players on this team were set. Losing Ruggs is not going to change that. I don't believe that you need to make any changes to this roster in terms of the offense. That's not offensive line related. Let me say that they need to continue to beef up that offensive line.
There we go.
And then they'll be fine. He's back!
Your internet kicked me out, man.
I was still talking, bro. We was good. Don't blame it on my internet.
I don't know if y'all heard, this looks like DC said that for tips on golf swing.
Shampoo my family. I ruin you.
I mean, that's what you were doing. It's like you like glitch it and pop, lock it, and drop it. Look, I ain't doing this dance again like I did in Vegas, man. Come on.
Put that in the background. Put that in the background.
Look. I got folks here roasting me. I told you my household is no mercy. You walk in here, you get roasted.
Everyone can get it. Even in the background, you can get blasted.
Look, grandma back in the day used to roast you. She like, look at that weak foot.
Oh,
yeah. I'm not. I believe that Zay can do it. I believe that Zay is going to need to do it. And from the way that they've approached it, from the way that they've approached this particular situation, it would appear that they believe that Zay can do it.
Yeah.
Now we've heard him this offseason talk about Zay Jones as being slept on and don't sleep on him. And I said it in an article. It's like, he's a guy that specializes in not getting a second chance because he's done everything that you could possibly do to prepare yourself to get a shot. And he makes it happen when he's in there, but it just can't get his role expanded. And now there are no more obstructions, no more obstacles. Their next man up is Zay Jones, and they need him bad.
This could be the best possible situation, best possible scenario for Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. I mean, with it being the worst thing that could happen, this could be the best thing for Zay Jones.
Yeah.
No, you're right on that one. And
then we'll have carbonite.
So should I call you Kenny Solo?
Kenny Solo.
Kenny Solo.
I like that.
I'm gonna use that next time I go to Disneyland.
Hey, look,
beauty of it is you don't have to be.
Look, LucasArts, they'll be trying to copyright it.
Yeah, Zay ain't Ruggs. I don't want Zay to be Ruggs.
We don't have to be.
No, he's Marcel
Aitman isn't the same player.
Bruh, just stop. Just stop. Just stop.
Like Marcel Aitman isn't the same player. There's a reason why Marcel Aitman has been on the practice squad for the past 17 years.
No. We don't say Marcel Aitman around here.
Is somebody gonna come out and say Keelan Doss next? And I swear to God, I will freaking throw my laptop.
Too late.
Too late.
You know he's from Alameda, right?
Yeah.
Zay Jones is not a poor man's.
Cool Kev. You lucky I need viewership, otherwise I'd mute you. But
Cool Kev.
Yeah, come on, bro. Stop it.
Marcel Aitman is a poor man's Andre Holmes.
Doss is garbage.
I know Doss is
not Doss is garbage. Marcel Aitman is garbage. Doss is a cheaper alternative.
A cheaper alternative.
Hunter Renfrow.
So somebody had said something. So here's an idea, and I've heard a couple of different ones. I've laughed at both. I've laughed at most of them. But this is one that could be slightly interesting. What do you think about Hunter being slid out wide?
That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Because I would rather Stoner be in the slot.
No. Stoner's better on the outside.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Stoner. But I like Hunter at the slot.
I love Hunter at the slot.
I think that him being in the slot, he's so sneaky. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to leave Hunter where he's best at. Now, what you could do next year, you could get that one guy that kind of took Hunter's place, kind of move him around because he's just been running fools over. Just saying.
Just put Darren Waller out. Put Darren Waller out wide. and start Foster Moreau at tight end.
I see what you did there. I mean, hey, we can run it back like Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
Run it back, 2015 style.
Hell, let's put.
I just can't with y'all.
Hey, let's put Kenyon Drake out wide.
You know that'll be good. I bet you nobody will ever see it coming. Ever.
Forget all that. I said we run 13 personnel, and we're gonna have 3 tight ends out wide.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
3 tight ends on the roster.
Maybe
I'll tell you what, man.
Fullback out there. Put a fullback and a running back out there, man. I tell you that, man. We could run screens all day.
Where's Jameis Olawale when you need him?
Man, we're a matchup nightmare. We need Marcel Reese now more than ever.
Hey, look, Mark, going to get your boy some shoulder pads. Going to get
Marcel.
Get Marcel about a game and a half left in him.
Get Marcel out of the front office. Put him back on the field.
Got about a game and a half out of him. Jeez.
Tell Alec he's gonna have to come out of that 45 for a game.
Yep.
I tell you this. I got a prediction.
No, this
Dylan Stoner, hear me out. If Dylan Stoner comes out Sunday and has a solid or a big game and is talked about, I damn sure bet everybody's buying a Stoner jersey, and it'll be the #1 selling jersey in America for all Stoners.
Stoner in Vegas? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the injury report for the New York Giants?
If you cough on somebody in New York, you're on the injury report.
Bro, you got Barkley with ankle and COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How you got ankle and COVID? God damn.
Lorenzo Carter ankle, Nate Ebner ankle, Galladay knee, Xavier McKinney COVID.
Ouch.
Dante Pettis shoulder.
Ooh.
Sterling Shepard quad.
Mow.
Matt Skura COVID.
Who?
Matt Skura O-line.
Who?
Yeah, and Caden Smith knee. Oh, and then Kadarius Toney thumb, but he'll play.
So here's a better question. My question to you is this: who is going to play for the Giants?
Danny
Jesus. Your imaginary
the
friend.
question is can I, if I were to throw on a blue jersey, could I get a game check? Because right about now they got to be pulling people out the stands.
Yeah, they got Lawrence Taylor coming out.
They got Tony over there over from the Bronx. They had the little pizza shop. Like, hey yo, line me your
Frankie
linebacker here, bud.
Frankie will be out there.
And any chance they sign Dan Skipper real quick to try to get the insights to the offense?
They're gonna sign Caden.
You know what I'm saying? We're taking them.
Hey,
all.
Caden, you're live right now, buddy.
Let me see your let me see your game face, son. Let me see your game face. Get me.
What are the Raiders gonna do? Okay, what are the Raiders gonna do on Sunday?
That's how they're gonna do the Giants, huh?
Are the Raiders gonna win on Sunday? You get out of here. I don't like you no more.
Ah! Look, don't be making that prediction around it with Raiders Twitter. They gonna try to come with you, kid. Don't do it, kid.
Raiders Twitter don't discriminate. They'll come after kids, man.
Yes. It's crazy,
man.
Look, you can be blind and they be like, "You already."
That's why you can't see.
Hey,
that's why you can't see.
Oh man.
It is a wild place, this Raider Twitter streets.
Hey, I have friends that are like either a Minnesota fan or they're Washington fans or even like just any other fan. They're like, bro, man, I go into y'all's like Raiders Twitter, like that group is terrible. What the hell, man? I see why you get frustrated every day. I'm like, bro, it's like a 24/7 job walking in the Raiders Twitter. Just know. You say something that is a whack take, you're done. You say
have to be a whack take. You tell these motherfuckers the truth.
You tell them the truth. You're done.
You can say anything.
Look, even if you found out something before other media folks and it's been confirmed, they be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Stick to being a fan.
Never been there. I didn't see you on the sidelines.
Hey, bro, but you know that group, you know, they be ready to put the hood on. They be like this. You know what I meant, boy. I'd be like, good God almighty. I'm like, look, I had to tell my therapist. I'm like, yeah, I do Raiders Twitter. What is Raiders Twitter? Oh, well, if toxic was a group of people, here you go. My damn therapist looking at that like, dear God.
Oh God, could you imagine just showing your timeline to your therapist?
Oh
like,
yeah, oh yeah. This is like radioactive sludge, but with human people and emotion. Yeah, I mean,
no.
What does this button do?
Yeah, you look at this, and it's like, dear God, I was just telling, I was in the DM, said if it wasn't for content distribution in my news, I might do away with Twitter because this is disgusting.
Oh no, I'm gonna drop a lot of, you know, F you, you cool, you my homie,
the homie.
I save
all right.
I save all my all the shit talking for TikTok.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, you can't do the crap on Facebook anymore. You say, damn, you're suspended.
You're suspended.
Dude. Yeah.
I started. You're going to be reprimanded and you need to look at getting a new account. I just said I farted. What?
Yeah. I said Derek Carr missed a touchdown pass and my content has been removed from about 5 different groups.
Yo, and it comes from like somewhere in Kazakhstan and shit. I'd be like, what? Hold up. What does Kazakhstan have to do?
Like, do you even know what I said? Problem? Like, could you even read this? Oh, somebody getting that dad look right there. Cut the mic off. It's about to get all knee deep in that ass.
That's the negotiation.
Huh? Don't say no. Listen, look, he can't look at me. I almost feel bad. I was about to be quiet. Shit. Hit me with the
Don't make me chase you, boy. Get you, boy. I'm gonna tell you something, boy.
Yeah. He took my phone and ran off with it.
Oh no!
Oh Lord!
No,
he go. Hey, look! No! Hold up! Look for the tweet.
Yeah, give it to me.
Wait for the tweet. Gonna see some selfies. Gonna see some selfies. But
sorry.
No, it's all good.
Hey,
it's
look,
all good fun.
He got his kids. I got my nephew. You got your kids. Look, it'd be the same thing.
Don't matter where you at, it's always the same thing. But to get us back on track,
yeah,
with all this that's going on, the Raiders once again, like you said, Kenny, they got to rebound. They got to show their mental toughness. They got to show their emotional toughness. And you know, it's all right to talk about emotional toughness when you deal with the situations that they're dealing with. You know, this is, I mean, regardless of what you think about whether they're football players, they should be machines. These are people. And if this was going on in your place of business where your manager got fired, I'm sure a bunch of people will be turning cartwheels and saying this is great. And then you turn around and your favorite coworkers done some stuff like what you just seen now.
Yeah.
And you still gotta go, you still gotta come into work every day and work and act like none of this has happened.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's draining. And it takes something that you love and just it taints it. There's no way that it can't taint that with when you come in to work and you're trying to do what you love and this is what you have to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, I think that's the thing that people forget is that athletes are still people and there's still the human aspect of it and people still have life to deal with. They still have everything to deal with. And I think that's a lot of things that people get away from. And it's, you know, a lot of people will say, well, you know, they get paid to do that. No, they get paid to play a sport. They don't get paid to deal with the craziness.
Yeah.
That's life. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's unfortunate all around. You know, it gives us, you know, something that we don't want to talk about. We have to talk about. It brings I feel like that dude on that one meme where the kid just starts dancing in the background.
Oh, the dude that was, I think it was on what, BBC?
I would almost give him $5 to watch him come out of nowhere and stick his hand out and shake you down for a handout.
Man. But Raider Rich said, I'll be okay as long as Jones doesn't do his Gruden impressions again.
Well, you don't want the spider too white banana, man. You don't like my spider too white banana, bro.
Speaking of impressions, man, Frank Caliendo lost one of his best impressions.
Oh,
now that he can't do Gruden.
Man, yeah, he heard that cost him some money. He might have to sue Gruden for that.
Speaking of suing, I'm really interested to see what happens if Gruden decides to sue the league, because I personally I want to see these emails.
Yeah, I keep telling folks, you can go on, and if he does sue the league, he can go and subpoena it. And emails. Whew.
I want to see these emails, because you don't have these conversations with yourself, right? There's back and forth. There's conversations that are back and forth. Two, the fact that the league is trying to suppress these tells me that there is a lot more out there that is not being told, and I want to see what it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and not only that, but with the photos that have been circulated throughout those emails, those are a separate set of issues in its own right, and some of those are criminal. Some of those are some criminal issues.
Hey Phil,
yeah,
remember that little talk I had with you? Matter of fact, you and Rich that one weekend I was at FedEx Field.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that seemed very suspect.
Yes, it did.
Motherfuckers locked me in the damn booth.
They was gonna get you. They was gonna get you.
They locked me in, bro. I covered I had to cover the rugby game against New Zealand and Team USA. So all of it wasn't really any US reporters. I think Washington Post, they did their thing and then they had left. But all you UK reporters, they left out. They kind of had to catch their flights. I'm over here left. I had to go on and type up my, my piece and then have that for the deadline. All of a sudden, lights click out. And I'm looking around like, what the hell? I'm like, bro, I'm still here. Y'all literally just saw me. I was here. I get to the door. That joint is locked.
Wow.
Locked.
Wow.
I had to go through another door to get out. A door that I did not want to go through. I'm not going to say it out loud because I might be like, hey, what's that red dot on me? But, yo, trying to get out of the whole stadium. I was like, I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit like, ooh, I got to find a getaway. I got to get away because I don't know if I'm going to get out alive.
Yeah, you got to look.
Now they're trying to get me. So, like I said, once these emails come out, I think everybody's going to be like, no, this needs to happen now. No, criminal charges need to be filed now.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, they actually can file criminal charges. If you go back to the video that was, released with the cheerleaders, with them being nude and, had any recollection of it, technically speaking, within Virginia and Maryland and, District of Columbia, so anywhere they want to try that, this will be actually listed down as revenge porn. So they can have that. They can file.
It's going to be
individual cheerleader.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It all depends on how the prosecution does it. If they end up getting there and it's okay, you can go for it. You have enough to do that. Go on and get it. And then once things get laid out, how many girls were in that video? You can go and be like, okay, well, that's one, that's two, and basically you're going to do about 3 years. So 3 years for each one, depending who's all the brings to the outfit on that joint.
And
you will be listed as a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if that is the case, we will see. But if not, Gruden going and subpoena the emails.
Yeah.
Unleash it. Unleash it. That's about all I got for today. I mean, we wanted to get more into the scouting thing, but that's just not where it went. And I'm not gonna force it because this is like Cool Kev said, some real life situations going on.
Yeah.
And this is heavy. All of it is heavy.
Yeah.
So Kenny, let them know where they can find you. These good people, like they don't know you already. I know, but let them know anyway.
You guys can check me out on Twitter at KennyKing_Jr. Check out my podcast, Real Talk with Kenny King Jr. It's on every platform. And you can follow me on Instagram as well. That's _Kenny King Jr.
So hold on, you on Telemundo?
Not on Telemundo, but I was on ESPN. I think it was ESPN 2.
So ESPN 8, The Ocho.
The Ocho.
Shit.
Dang. Kenny Blair said
The Ocho.
Kenny,
you know what I'm saying?
Kenny Blair said we need the Jones dance.
The Ocho, you got to let me know. I want to be the cameraman or something.
Gotcha, bro. Jones, we need the dance.
Hold on. Hold on.
Get him.
They want the dance. Hold on.
Yellow time food beat.
Hey, look, I was thinking about changing like the music to it. So if I end up doing that come Sunday, hopefully we win.
I need a Good Morning Peasants on Monday. That's all I need.
Hey, look, that should be hilarious. They be like, yeah, you evil for that one. I'm like, nah, I'm not evil. I'm just stating the facts. Look, let's be real. Everybody always want to come in and be like, oh, you poverty franchise. I'm like, look, you know what? Everybody clown Mark Davis for this and that. You know what? Why don't we have fun with this? So we're going to have fun with it. And you know what? I might just start doing some videos where you add Mark Davis with the waves.
Get Mark Davis coming up. Hi, guys.
With the waves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. Kenny King Jr., thank you for your time. Thank you for stopping by, all your insights. Glad to have you as always. Phil, you know what it is.
Oh, hold on. They asked for the video. We're going to give them the damn video.
Oh, well,
thanks for having me, guys.
We asked for the damn video. Y'all want the video? I'm going to give you the video. Are you not entertained?
Give it to him.
All right, then. Daggone it. Look, he trying to negotiate. You hear him in the background say, Mommy, he ain't let me get the phone.
Mm-hmm. He over there. I seen him.
There it is. Styles, though.
All right.
Hey, where was you at, Kenny? I bumped into you once when we was out there.
I was in Sahara.
Look, man,
he was out there, and Phil was living his best life and tearing it up, cutting the rug.
I saw. What was I there earlier though? I was in the room for a minute. I was in the room.
I was done that night out there. Pepe was like, "Hey man, you be all right, man. Heaven." Oh no, you gotta hit the Pepe. I gotta hit the Pepe.
Hey man, you all right?
We had to drag ourselves. We had to literally pull it together, drag ourselves together to go see Q the rock star after that.
Yeah. Let me. Hey Phil. Have a michelada, okay? Have about 3 or 4 of them micheladas.
All right.
You know, when you have the michelada, you're gonna be all right.
Is that tequila too? Oh,
you're gonna have about 12 shots of tequila.
I told my wife I wasn't drinking. Oh.
Hey Phil, fuck you. But yeah, Have some more shots.
Yeah. I got some shots for
let
you.
me tell you guys, I got the greatest tickets in the world. And fuck this management. I bought the whole bar up and they still won't tell us to let everybody in.
That
but
I love my Pepe. Love some Pepe. But that's it. We got an hour and 11 minutes in. Kenny, it's been real. Phil, it's been real. Make better choices is what I'll leave everybody with. And remember, Uber is your friend. Lyft is your friend. Call somebody else. Stop the drunk driving. It's got to stop. There's no excuse for it. It's not responsible. And everybody needs to come home alive.
Absolutely. I agree. Hey, remember, you reap what you sow.
Yep.